Man, I sure wish I had a Pokémon with the HM for Defog with me, said no one ever. Anyways, welcome back to my FireRed Omega Nuzlocke. And as you can see, I changed up the team a bit. So as alluded to in the last episode, I reintroduced Azteca to the team. Moveset didn't change, it's still relying on extra sensory and fly, with the occasional magical leaf. But if we check all the way at the bottom, we got Quiet the Dusclops. Dusclops was a pain to grind, honestly, because the only attacking moves it had were Astonish and Pursuit. Thankfully, upon evolving it learned Shadow Punch, so it's at least got a way to defend itself now. But without further ado, let's start the Tower of Tragedy while we mourn our losses. Because this tower is actually a graveyard for fallen Pokémon, which is... I don't understand this concept. Like, it's a tower, and there's like hundreds of graves. So, but because it's a tower, how are they actually burying the Pokémon there? Like, there's so many graves, there's gotta be some bodies that are buried. But maybe they're all cremated, or maybe they're just there to mourn the spirits, or to remind of the spirits? I don't know. It's weird. And in this episode, we'll have a lot of trainer fighting going on. So let me turn on the battle scene, which I forgot. Again. And also, I have a story to tell, because, as I said in the last episode, I am not at home actually. I am traveling abroad. I am currently sitting in my hotel room in Liverpool, England. And yeah, I just want to talk about a few things that I've done here. So, the flight wasn't great. I had around an hour delay because the fueling company messed up. But thankfully, I was able to fly at all because Ryanair, the airline I used, is striking at the moment, and loads of flights were affected, including flights to Liverpool. So I was afraid that I wouldn't make it, but thankfully on that day, I think there were four flights in total to Liverpool, and only one of them was cancelled, not mine. And that's the good thing. Like, the flight that was cancelled was supposed to go in the evening, but my flight was in the early morning, like 7 AM. So it was just going as scheduled with the delay I mentioned. Yeah, because the fueling company messed up, they had to wait for the refueling a bit longer, we had to wait for 1 hour at the airport, whatever, no big deal. I ended up in Liverpool then, and yeah, flight went smoothly. I think the flight was actually shorter than the time I had to wait for the flight to start, so that was good. But yeah, so when I arrived, I took the bus into town, was a good bus ride, nothing special, and upon arriving I checked out the Albert Dock, because my hotel is close to the Albert Dock, which is, surprise surprise, a dock. It's like a kind of a, not really a small village, but I think they call it Albert Dock Village actually. There's loads of attractions there, a few museums, which I visited, and a lot of them are for free. So I went to the Museum of Liverpool, I think it's called, which has a John Lennon exhibit, so that was cool. I like music, I like the Beatles, so that was interesting to see. I also went into the, what's it called? I think Liverpool Eye. It's a Ferris wheel that has a good view over the city. And I will include a link to a video of that right here. Click on the link in the middle of the screen. So yeah, that was good. And yeah, after that, I just took a walk along that Albert Dock. I went to the British Music Experience, which, as I said, I'm a fan of music, I'm a big fan of music, and loads of my favorite bands actually come from Britain. Like, there's The Smiths, Oasis, like Liam Gallagher, Noel Gallagher, which were part of Oasis, but never mind. Yeah, I like the Arctic Monkeys too, like, stuff like that. Now, like some of the old stuff as well, like The Who and Led Zeppelin. But that aside, I had to pay like 15 quid to get in, I think, 14, something like that, which was a bit too expensive for what they offered, really. Like, in that museum they had quite a few exhibits, like clothing the bands would wear at their gigs, or what else, like instruments they would have used, set lists, really interesting stuff. But Again, it was just a bit small for what they offered. Although, they also had a main stage, a main stage they called, which was front and center in the museum, and that was probably my favorite part, because it was kind of designed like a stage, as the name says, and they were showing a few video clips. Like, it was either a spliced together video of various music clips from a few bands or artists, or even some concert clips. Like, what's the one they've shown? I think it was Culture. Was it Culture Club? Do You Really Want to... Yeah, exactly. They showed a video of Boy George performing Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? So that was cool. And they also had an interesting area where you could check out and try out various instruments. They had a few guitars, they had a few drum sets. I didn't do it because I can't play an instrument, but it was interesting to watch at least. And after that I went along the River Mersey and continued on the Albert Dock, really. It was kind of like an amusement park almost. They had a small roller coaster there, like a chain carousel that would go like 20 meters into the air. That was cool. And yeah, it was really interesting. I didn't expect that, to be honest. I thought, okay, Albert Dock, it's just gonna be a small section of the town, maybe a port, some things to look at, but nothing special. Oh, was I wrong? Was I wrong? Those museums were interesting and free too. At least most of them. And after that, I also went to the shopping center / district. It's kind of a shopping center. It's called Liverpool 1. But it's not really designed like a typical shopping center. It's like open air. Like, everything is open air. They had a terrace with like garden chairs. And I don't know, it was kind of cool. I'm not a big fan of shopping centers, but this one caught my attention. And also they had a few pianos around that anybody who wanted to could play on. Again, I didn't do it, I don't know how to play the piano, and I didn't want to make a fool out of myself, but I listened to the music that the people played, so that was nice. And then at night, I was just walking around the party street, basically. There was a street with one pub, one bar, one club after the other. And I didn't really like it. There were so many drunks on the street, even at 9 p.m. when I went out. So I checked out that one karaoke bar that I read about, because I like karaoke, I like singing. And I left immediately, pretty much. I don't know, I didn't like the atmosphere in there. And there was a guy singing horribly wrong. So... And he wasn't booed off stage. People were partying with him, even though he wasn't really... He wasn't really self-aware. He didn't know he was terrible. But yeah, after that, I was just wandering around the streets, just looking for a good bar. And then I found one. It's called the, I think, Jacaranda Bar, or something like that. It's a recreation of a bar that the Beatles used to go to after their gigs, just for a few drinks. And yeah, the main bar wasn't that good. It was just your typical run-of-the-mill bar you'd see everywhere. But downstairs they had a little music venue. So there were a few bands which I'm gonna give a shout out to now. They were called Lotus Bay, which were a group of musicians from Italy and Liverpool. And they were pretty good. And the main event of the night was another band from... the musicians were from Liverpool and Spain. Really interesting combination. I don't know how that happened. And yeah, they were called Evil Pink Machine. And like, the gig was £5, which was fair enough. Like, I bet the money will go to the musicians, like, for the most part. And yeah, right when I entered the venue, I got paid the entrance fee. Like, a girl came up to me and she was like, "Oh, you should stick around for the last band. They're pretty good. You're gonna love them." And then I was like, "Oh, sure, she must be here to promote them, whatever." But I paid the money, like hell, I'm gonna leave. So yeah, I'm just... Like, the first band, I didn't catch the whole gig, only like the last 3 or 4 songs, which was a shame. But I should have read up on the venue earlier. But didn't matter. I still got plenty of amusement out of my entrance fee. And yeah, the band. So then the first band finishes, second band starts to set up, and then when they started, I realized, wait, that bass player looks familiar. It's that girl that told me to stick around for the last band. So she was just shamelessly self-promoting her band, which I found hilarious, honestly. Like, she didn't even say, "Oh, I am from this band. You should check us out. You're gonna love us." No, she didn't mention it at all. So the reveal at the end was pretty mind-blowing. Well, not mind-blowing per se, but it was just funny. And yeah, afterwards, the musicians stuck around for a bit, had a drink, talked to the audience. So that was really cool. Like, I like it when musicians don't just leave immediately, but stick around to have a chat with the audience, see how the gig went. That really makes it a bit more personal, and it was also an incentive for me to buy some of their CDs. So there you go. They made a few more pounds out of it. And for small musicians like that, I'm glad to give up a bit of money to support them. Because, oh boy, do they need the support. But yeah, I hope they become a bit more popular in the future, because they were pretty decent. Like, if you're into rock or indie music, check it out. They were called Lotus Bay and Evil Pink Machine. So that was it. And now it's currently Sunday, August 5th. I have one more day in Liverpool. I'm leaving tomorrow on Monday 6th in the evening. I think 7 p.m. is the flight. If it doesn't get cancelled, which I hope it doesn't, because I have to work on Tuesday, but never mind. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I think there's still a few more museums I haven't checked out on Albert Dock. So I think I'm gonna go there. Oh, and I like this one. This was completely unintentional. I didn't expect to have a mirror match here, honestly. So let's see what happens, shall we? But yeah, like, on a day when I have a flight that night, I don't like to stick around in town, to be honest. Because I'm always paranoid, oh, what if there's gonna be a delay? What if I miss my flight? But no, I think I'm at least gonna stick around a bit more downtown. So, yeah, but all in all, I like the town, I like Liverpool. Even though I haven't seen much. I didn't even get to visit Anfield, the football stadium, which was on my list when I came here, but it's too far away. It's like an hour walk from my hotel room, which I'm not really in the mood for. I want to relax a bit. So that's out of the question. And yeah, that mirror match was not a challenge in the slightest because of Confuse Ray, so I got lucky. What else do we got? Draco, get in there. And musicians that stick around after concerts. That reminds me of a gig I saw in 2014, I think it was. It was a Japanese band called Electric Eel Shock. And they play like garage rock. So that was... yeah, so the gig was... it was a very intimate venue, very small. But it was packed. Like, I seriously doubt that many people knew them, which is why they kind of picked a small venue. But, as I said, it was packed. There were a few fans. So... oh, Bayonet, you're an idiot. And, yeah, after the show, I was just hanging out, like, checking out the merch. And while I was checking out the merch, I turned around, and lo and behold, the musicians from the band turned up for a small, like, meet and greet with the fans. Which... and the funny thing was, they were all Japanese, and they didn't speak English very well, which one of their songs actually goes, something like, "I'm sorry, I can't speak English well," so that's kind of, self-aware, but, yeah, so they stuck around, I shook their hands, took a photo with them. Sadly, I had a bad camera at that point, so the photo didn't really come out very well, but it's still a good memory, and I got a signed poster from them too. But that aside, we now have to fight the first boss of the area, which is... be gone, intruders! Yeah, it's a ghost. So, yeah, it's an unidentifiable shape, which, you know, it's kind of a shame they didn't really make this into a Pokémon. But here is Marowak, and I don't think you can catch it. Which is why I'm just... like, I'm not allowed to catch it anyway, but I'm just gonna send out Kappa for the quick kill. With... what do I want to use? Water Pulse, you have more PP. Go on, Water Pulse, wash it away. But kinda weird that it behaves like a ground type, because it's just a ghost. That's assuming it's old form again. Shouldn't it be Ghost type? But I guess they fixed it in Gen 7 when they turned Marowak into a, Fire Ghost type. It's still the weirdest type combination for a previously ground type, but whatever. And now we've reached the top of the tower, which is infested with Rocket Bros. What do you want? Why are you here? I'm here just for sightseeing, because visiting a graveyard, totally a sightseeing spot. But, yeah, I imagine they have really, really, really unimaginative teams. Like, look at this. First guy is using a Zubat. Why do you miss, Hardhat? Come on, stop missing. I know Rock Blast is a low accuracy move, but come on. Really, again? Oh well, we only went for 16 minutes. We got some... Are you serious? 3 times in a row? Hardhat, you really gotta pick up the slack here, otherwise I'm gonna boot you off the team. Yeah, thank you, that worked. Yeah, I knew you were very, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Whatever. I know you're very, motivated, I guess, so you want to stick on the team, which is why you didn't miss when I threatened to take you off the team. But, Hardhat, you should know, I'm never gonna boot you off. Unless I'm catching like a Rhyhorn or Rhydon, so then, yeah, I'm gonna boot it off, but whatever. That's, never gonna happen. No, just no. But, oh wait, he has a Golbat, very predictable. Very, very, very predictable. And will this go down easily too? Let's see. Why is Hardhat outspeeding those Zubats and Golbats? Hardhat shouldn't be this fast, even with the 6 level difference. So that's kind of funny. Did they bump up its speed? I don't know. But, yeah, that battle is done with. He's giving up. He realizes his mistake. And... oh, he leaves. He actually leaves. What the hell? The rockets never leave. I don't remember this. But yeah, let's get in Azteca here. And beat up the next rocket. Oh yeah, first off, how does your speed compare, Hardhat? Because I'm really curious now. Speed 63. Let's compare it to Kappa. I think Kappa, speed-wise, is somewhere in the middle of the spectrum. Oh, 70! That's a really small difference, wow. I didn't think Golem was that fast. Wow. Okay, wait. How did this old guy march into the hideout like it was nothing? He's not even a trainer. He's just an old, like, Pokemon charity guy. And seeing this coughing is kinda making me glad that I switched. Because Magnitude wouldn't have been able to do a thing. Same as any other ground moves I would have used, such as Dig. So yeah, Extrasensory is my best weapon against these things. And I'm kinda glad I took Azteca along for the ride. Which, think back to last episode. Oh, Cacturn. Well, that's interesting. You don't see those things very often. Yeah, if you think back to last episode, I was kinda debating whether I should use Azteca or not. Because here with Draco I already have a flying type. But Azteca doesn't really make use of its flying type that well because of a low attack stat. So, and weakness-wise, well, I'm never gonna switch in Azteca against an ice type or an electric type, so yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna come into effect. But yeah, Draco gets a level up, which makes it more powerful, obviously, which is very welcome. Please, no more! Okay, Jesus, I'm gonna leave you out of the hook then. My god. No, they're... whatever. Actually, I wonder, in the real world, are there people that are selling Pokemon, like the Pokemon files, if they have rare stuff? Like, let's say a full 802 Pokemon Pokédex on Ultra Sun. Would that be worth a lot of money? I don't think it is. The only thing oh wow, Rattata. That's really... you really saved the best rocket for last here, guys. And it's level 26, what the hell? But yeah, anyways, of course there's Pokemon trading cards which are selling really well. And when I was a child, I actually had a small business, in quotes, of Pokemon cards. I was dealing with that stuff like crazy. Like, I would go on eBay and sell that stuff. Like, I would buy them in bulk and just sell the individual rare cards. And I made a whole lot of money off of them, which was mental. And I remember one time I went on a flea market, and there were these 2 teenagers selling a few spread out Pokemon cards. Like, they had a few rare ones, like Blastoise, Charizard. And I was thinking, might as well try my luck. I'm just gonna ask what they want. So I go up to them, I'm like, hey lads, how's it going? What do you want for those rare cards? And then the first guy was, we're gonna give them to you for 2 cents a pop. And I'm already, like, my eyes are, bing, lighting up. That's a perfect deal. But then the other guy interferes. No, what? Are you crazy? 10 cents? No, we're not selling them for 10 cents. And you could exactly pinpoint the moment my heart broke. I was so disappointed. But then the guy continued, you know what, we're gonna give them for 5 cents. We wanna get rid of them. So my eyes, bing, light up again. And I bought pretty much all of them. Resold them on eBay. Got like 5 or 6 euro per piece. So I made an insane profit that day. But that's like 15 years ago now. Maybe even 20. So yeah, those were the days. And nowadays I'm completely lost. I can't remember anything. I can remember anything, but I don't know the market of Pokemon cards anymore. So let's just save Mr. Fuji. Huh? You come to save me? Wait, why is he an old witch now? I don't know. But yeah, he's just here because he's just here out of his own goodwill, and he just kind of stumbled into Team Rocket. And if I remember correctly, he's not even kidnapped by Team Rocket or held hostage. He's just there, hanging out. And he just couldn't left because Team Rocket were blocking the way. And I guess they just wanted to get rid of a witness or something, I don't know. But yeah, talking to Mr. Fuji here, he revealed some lore, I don't really care about that. But he also gives you the Pokeflute, which opens up Route 12 and 16 for us. So yeah, that's where we'll be going in the next episode. And one other very nice side effect of the Pokeflute is I never ever have to use Awakenings anymore, because you can use the Pokeflute in battle and wake up any sleeping Pokemon on your team. So that is really, really useful, because I'm not allowed to buy healing items in this run. But that aside, let me save the game, overwrite my old file, not turn off the power as usual, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.